Well, hello everybody and welcome back. Thank you for joining us here in the Straumann Arena of Confidence for the Straumann press conference. If you're here and you can't hear well in the room, please do feel free to use the headphones that you can find at the back of the room. And if you're joining us on the internet, thank you for joining us today. I'd like now to hand over to our CEO, Marco Gadola. Marco.
Thank you, Mark, and welcome from my side too to this year's IDS Straumann Press and Media Conference. It's a pleasure to have you here today. A lot has happened over the last couple of years at Straumann, but before I tell you about the many changes which we have actually initiated and implemented, I would like to tell you who's going to present here over the next roughly 60 minutes. We will have Frank Hem, our head of global marketing, being with us. He will give you an update, especially when it comes to our premium dental implant franchise, and he will talk about the mega topics which we see in implantology. We also have the big honor and pleasure to have Eric Salvesen with us. Eric has been the surgeon who has placed the first BLX implant back in late 2017. He has placed many BLX in the meantime, and he is actually able to share with you his experience when it comes to BLX. And finally, Peter Sieler, our head of our digital business unit, he will give you a glimpse at all the new tools, the new equipment, the new materials we are presenting at this year's IDS. When we met last time, back in 2017, Straumann was a different company. We were looking back at the year of 2016, where we have generated roughly 900 million Swiss francs of turnover. In 2018, we generated 1.365 billion of net revenue. So more than 50% increase over a period of 2 years. We count today on 6,000 colleagues worldwide compared to 3,800 at the end of 2017. And we've increased our market share in terms of value in the global dental implant market from 23 to 25%. You can see also from a geographical reach point of view, we've opened many new subsidiaries. And particularly when it comes to our value business, we've actually extended our global reach quite significantly. Today, you can find, for example, our Neodent product line in 56 countries. On top of that, we have entered the clear aligner business with the acquisition of ClearCorrect in October of 2017. We've entered the 3D printing field, and you can see actually at the booth outside of the arena here, all of our new 3D printers, which are targeting now more the dental office. So we have 3D printers in many different price ranges, also able to actually support the dental offices when it comes to printing, 3D printing in the dental office. We made inroads into artificial intelligence. You can actually see our Dent2Go, our Straumann virtual clinic in the truck outside here of this hall. And we are, as we speak, piloting a new concept or new concepts when it comes to caries, periodontitis and peri-implantitis treatment. So many changes over the last 2 years. On top of that, we've been pretty busy on the M&A side. So we have actually acquired many new companies, many partners. You see here the list. The latest addition has been the acquisition of 100% of Antashir. We announced this transaction yesterday morning. But you can also see on this list, Cinedent, T-Plus, Z Systems. We increased our stake in Medentika from 51 to 91%. We are now also proud owners of 30% in Botis. We acquired, as I mentioned before, ClearCorrect. With Geniova, we have another alternative when it comes to clear aligners and a couple of other compelling acquisitions when it comes to dental restorations and prosthetics, Createch, Valok, Dental Wings on the digital side, Rapid Shape, our partner when it comes to 3D printing, and Dental Monitoring is our partner when it comes to bringing artificial intelligence into our industry. This slide is actually presenting all the different companies and brands we are working together. So you see, for example, when it comes to dental implants, we can count on 8 different brands. Our stellar brand is obviously Straumann, that's our premium brand, and also last year we've still generated more than 70% of our revenue with Straumann branded products. But we have with Neodent, Medentika, Anthogyr, Synedent, Equinox, T+, and our stake in Z Systems. We have now a wide variety of different implant systems, allowing us to go after every price point in dental implants. On top of that, we have a compelling portfolio when it comes to biomaterials. Bot is obviously our main partner there, but we're also working together with other top-notch companies. You see on the prosthetic side, Medentika, Createch, Amann Girrbach, Rapid Shape, Zirconsan, Valoc, and also on the orthodontic side, you see ClearCorrect. Our entry into the Chinese market, we just launched last week. We are actually commercializing clear aligners in the Chinese market under the brand SmileTech. And obviously, dental monitoring is also helping us to bring our orthodontic solutions to the next level. And then you see a couple of brands you haven't seen before, like, for example, Credentis, like Isun, Acteon. So these are our partners when it comes to making inroads into caries, parodontitis, and peri-implantitis treatments. And sorry, I forgot, obviously, the data acquisition and capturing side, Dental Wings, 3Shape. We also announced this morning that we will cooperate with Medit on the software side, but also when it comes to lab scanners, and obviously also dental monitoring is supporting us there. With that portfolio at hand, we are today able to address roughly 13 billion Swiss franc of market size. The total market for professional dentistry is roughly 26, 27 billion. So with the portfolio at hand, and I'm not yet including the products for caries, parodontitis, and peri-implantitis treatment, we are able to address roughly 50% of the total market for professional dentistry products. I mentioned the pilots when it comes to caries, parodontitis, and peri-implantitis treatment. We are running this pilot in 5 countries as we speak. And obviously the target of this pilot is actually to test a portfolio of products targeting at preventing caries, preventing periodontitis, preventing peri-implantitis, and giving actually products to the dentists to treat caries, peri-implantitis, and periodontitis cases. We will be able to actually conclude on this pilot later this year. And with the portfolio at hand, we should actually be able to address the market we can address with our portfolio by another 2 billion Swiss francs. So bringing the addressable market from 13 to 15 billion. Frank Hem will talk about our initiatives when it comes to the premium dental implants, so the developments under the Straumann brand. I would like to focus for the rest of my presentation now more on the value side of implantology. As you all know, the global market for implants is roughly 4.5 billion in terms of value. I'm always talking Swiss francs. I'm too slow to actually convert it into euros. It's roughly 4 billion euros. In terms of volume, we are talking roughly 25 million implants placed on an annual basis. Out of these 25 million, only roughly 6.5 million are premium implants. So the vast majority of the implants placed today are non-premium implants. And that's why we decided as Straumann to enter the value segment of implantology already back in 2013. And you see here we have a compelling portfolio. We have 6 different brands to go after the different price points in implantology. As pointed out before, our premium brand clearly is Straumann, but we have now 3 brands in our portfolio to go what we call after the upper value segment of implantology, and we have 3 brands to go after what we call the 3rd tier of implantology. In terms of volumes, again, premium, roughly 6.5 million implants, lower value is roughly 10 million implants, and upper value is roughly 8 million implants. You see on the left side hand of this chart our market share. We have in premium roughly 35 to 40% market share. In terms of non-premium, our market share outside of Brazil is still below 5%. We sold last year roughly 1.8 million Neodent implants, roughly 500,000 outside of Brazil, 1.3 million in Brazil. And we believe now with actually the geographic reach we have with Neodent, I mentioned the 56 countries, that we are actually geared to actually increase our market share in this fast-growing segment in implantology. Neodent GM is one of the weapons which we have. It's actually a new design, it's a new connection, and the acceptance worldwide by customers who have actually used before the CM line of Neodent or other non-premium systems has been extremely positive. We announced, as I mentioned before, 2 days ago, that we are now also owning 100% of Anthogyr, a French brand, headquarters based in Sallanches, close to the Swiss border. And we are actually going to take the Anthogyr product portfolio and we will make out of Anthogyr a truly global brand. And finally, as pointed out before, we've increased our stake in Medentika from 51% to 91%, and that has also been announced today in the media press release for the IDS. You see here, we are actually in very, very attractive segments of professional dentistry. We are in the most attractive segments, in the fastest growing segments, like in CAD/CAM equipment, where we see double-digit growth, especially stemming from intraoral scanners, but more and more also 3D printers. We are in CAD/CAM prosthetics. Also, this is a fast-growing segment. Still today, out of the 500 million crowns which are manufactured on an annual basis, only roughly 150 are manufactured by CAD/CAM technology. Still, the vast majority of crowns and bridges are manufactured old-fashioned way, porcelain fused to metal, manual processes, and the CAD/CAM part is actually growing very, very fast. And then you see clear aligners, more than 25% global growth. I just got the numbers out of China a couple of hours ago. The Chinese clear aligner market in 2018 has grown by 60%. By 60%. Today, if you look at the clear aligner market, 60% of this market is US, 20% roughly is China, and the rest is developing world. If we talk about Europe, if we talk about emerging markets, if we talk about Latin America, so here we see clearly a huge opportunity with us, and with ClearCorrect and SmileTech, we are very well positioned to actually increase our share in this very compelling segment. With this, I hand over to Frank, who will give us an update on the mega topics.
Thank you, Marco. Good afternoon also from my side. I would like to start with the following, what we call mega topics. So this is based on intensive discussions with our customers and with patients, trends, market needs that our customers face today in their practice. Let me start with immediate or efficient treatment protocols. Our customers are looking for products that allow them to treat their patients in an efficient way. This may mean shorter treatment steps or fewer treatment steps, especially immediate treatment protocols. They're looking for products that allows them to treat their patients with less invasiveness. Nobody likes invasive procedures. They're obviously looking for aesthetic outcomes. They're looking for a partner that helps them educate and train them on procedures and the use of the products. They're looking for a partner that provides them with products that helps treat patients that suffer from other diseases, whether it's diabetes, osteoporosis, or cancer patients. They're looking for a partner that helps them treat a large number of edentulous patients, so patients without any teeth. We think that this indication is small, but in fact it's very big. Alone in the US, we're talking about 30 million people that are fully edentulous or have suffering from failing dentition. And last but not least, they're looking for a partner that helps them maintain implants over time, because ideally implants stay in the mouths of their patients for the rest of their lives. I'm going to give you a bit more detail into 3 very exciting innovations in the area of immediate treatment protocols, edentulism, and aesthetics in the following. So Straumann has been instrumental in developing iconic implant designs, and you see here the history starting in '86 with the soft tissue level implant, 2007 a bone level implant. We've entered the apically tapered market in 2015, and most recently with the smallest diameter implant, 2.9, we've really pushed the envelope to the limit. In the course of these developments, we have listened to our customers, which means we have been able to help them treat new indications like immediate treatment protocols. We have developed longer implants, smaller implants, shorter implants. We have made improvements on our abutments. Yet our customers still told us that they're looking for something else. They're looking for a very specific implant design that helps them treat patients with immediate treatment protocols. So looking for a product that provides them with more what is called primary stability, so more anchorage in the bone. Specifically, they told us they're looking for an efficient system that allows them to treat their patients with fewer treatment steps, overall reducing the treatment time of their patients. They're looking for a system that is flexible, that can be used in all types of different indications. They're not looking for a niche product. And last but not least, they're looking for all the ingredients that make them trust in Straumann as a brand. Our surface technology, our material technology, the service that we provide, the educational offering, etc. So at this point, when we were thinking about how to best come up with such a product, our paths crossed with quite a unique individual, Dr. Ophir Fromovich, and I'm happy to have him here in the audience today as well. Ophir is a very unique combination of a clinician, an inventor, and an entrepreneur. And as you can see here, he's been instrumental in designing and in driving the history of implant designs that are suitable for immediate treatment protocols, starting with the SBI, marketed under the Alpha Biotech name. Finally then the Noble Active brand, which is our product, which is still on the market. And his experience and insights now culminated in the BLX product that we're launching at this IDS. And what the product looks like in detail, we see now. Hopefully with sound. Could we get some sound on this one? Thank you.
You got too much sound.
So a lot of new things incorporated in this product. Allow me just to highlight a few of them that we would like to point out to you. So it's a product that is not only designed for immediate treatment protocols. It's perfected for immediacy, but it can be used in all indications. It has what we call dynamic bone management properties that I will come to in a moment. It has what we call the aesthetic ease concept, a very simple prosthetic connection, only one connection, and modified, optimized prosthetic components. And it comes, as I mentioned, with the real confidence that Straumann can provide to our customers. Our long evidence and scientific-based background of the rock-solid material and the S-elective surface. So let's look at the implant range in a bit more detail. You see we have a complete range from 3.5 to 6.5. What's unique here, all these implants have the same connection, the same dimension of the prosthetic connection, which makes it very easy and simple for the restoring dentist because he only has to deal with one prosthetic portfolio. Many other implant systems have different types, different sizes of connections, which proliferates the componentry. So here, very, very simple. What we're also very proud of is that thanks to the rock-solid material and its strength properties, we have been able to indicate the 3.75 millimeter implant for all indications. So far, the smallest implant that we had for all indications was the 4.1. Here with 3.75, we can cover the full range of indications. And this is only possible thanks to our proprietary rock-solid material. If we're looking at the implant design, we see a lot of features that make this implant very unique. It's actually a combination of an implant and an instrument, if you want, because the implant is designed in a way that thanks to its bidirectional cutting elements, it can cut, collect and condense the bone, distribute bone horizontally and vertically through the vertical flutes along the implant, thereby avoiding overstress of the bone and helping the practitioner optimize the primary stability that he or she wants to achieve. Thanks to a double thread design, the insertion is very quick, again, supporting efficient treatment protocols. We also have included a new connection with this implant, which we call the torque fit connections. What is special about this connection? It's a very steep angle, 7 degrees, which allows us to have more material in the implant neck, which again makes the implant stronger. It is a very short connection, which allows us to have implants as short as 6 millimeter compared with the 8 millimeter on the bone level that we have today. And it has 6 different positions, allowing for prosthetic flexibility and a very high transmission of torque. This is a new connection which we have applied for a patent, and we are also thinking about including this on other implants to further facilitate the choice of prosthetic componentry in the future. Often when we introduce a new implant system, we only talk about the implant as such and we forget about the instruments. But we're very proud of this development here, which is a new drill design, and a new surface treatment of the drills, which helps us reduce the heat that is induced when preparing the implant bed. You see that on the right hand side of the picture, this heat diagram. Left, the old drill design, right, the new drill design. So much lower heat induction when we prepare the implant bed, which is obviously a beneficial effect on the biology of the implant bed. We have simplified the componentry, so guided surgery has become a lot more easy, and we have also simplified and reduced the number of drill steps and unified the drill speed, which again helps simplify the treatment and shorten the number of drill steps in the procedure. As you would expect from Straumann, we have an extensive preclinical and clinical program ongoing. You see here 6 preclinical studies, 2 studies sponsored by the ITI clinical studies ongoing, both controlled and single center and multi-center studies. To give you a bit more detail, we have currently, this is the status in March, 8 studies ongoing, 2 of which are already in the follow-up, 4 of which we're still recruiting, 2 which are in preparation, covering the whole range of indications from single anterior, posterior single to full arch. We also have an NIS, a non-interventional study, in which clinicians use the implant in any way they seem fit and they report back on us. And what we have here is the case report. We call it as an online case tracker, where we see in what type of indications and sites the implant has been used. You see it's in healed sites as well as in immediate extraction sockets, anterior, posterior, single, multi-edentulous, with conventional loading as well as with immediate loading. And the qualitative rating that we got from these clinicians is very, very high. Of course, this is a qualitative rating and will be substantiated now with extensive clinical follow-up, but very, very good initial feedback. Now, I'm representing marketing here, and I can only give you a certain insight into this product, which is why I'm very happy to welcome Eirik Salvesen. Eirik is a periodontist from Norway, and as Marco has mentioned, the first one who has placed the BLX in a human almost 1 year ago. Eirik has extensive experience as a clinician. He's been lecturing for both Straumann and Nobel Biocare. Eirik is a co-founder and co-owner of the second largest dental chain in Norway. And I'm very happy that he's joining us today, sharing his clinical experience with the BLX implant. Eirik.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I don't need that one. I can't use it. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining. I'll try to show you some of the clinical features of what I've experienced now during the last 15 months of using this new implant. And it's always fun when something new happens. And I'm going to try to explain to you why it's fun and why I see this as what I call a game changer for Straumann. First of all, let me just introduce the word of immediacy as we see on the stage, because I still feel that this is the most hyped word that we have in implant dentistry nowadays. We all talk about immediacy, and what is it? Why is it so important? Is it because that we want to make more money, or is it anything? No, it's all about the patient. Because if we can do a more effective treatment for the patient, a more efficient way of treating them, less surgery, less time in my dental chair, that's good for the patient. So basically what we're doing when we talk about immediate treatment, we all talk about the patient, and it's actually all about the patient. So whatever we do now, we focus on what we call, I'll translate from Norwegian, but it's called delicious dental treatment. And I know it's kind of challenging for you to imagine delicious dental treatment, but it could always be a little bit better. So if we can do less surgery, that will be a little bit better than what we did yesterday. If we could do the treatment a little bit faster, that will be a little bit better than what we did yesterday. And can we avoid and reduce the time to tooth for each patient? That's also a little bit better. So that will be delicious. Regarding then the time frame, if we look at, if you have a patient coming in, knocked out the tooth yesterday and needs a dental implant, there is always a time frame of when the tooth was removed and until the time is the tooth is restored. On the left side of your screen, or the screens on the sides, you'll see that these are all the visits that I need to do for a patient on a conventional way. We need to look at them, we need to extract the tooth, we need to have control, then we need to do an implant surgery, a control again, an abutment surgery, an intraoral scanner, an impression, a temporary crown, prosthetic control, intraoral scanner again, final crown and prosthetic control. And the middle column that you see is minutes. So that's all about minutes. So that's minutes of my time and it's minutes of your time as a patient. And if we can reduce that together with the interval of weeks that we see down to something less, it's always better for the patient. So less time in the chair, less interventions, better for the patient, more delicious. So that's why we talk about immediacy as a concept for the patients. If we sum up, that will be fewer visits, that will be fewer surgical interventions, less discomfort, and more efficient treatment. And no matter what I think about being in my dental chair, I know that most of you would like to spend as few minutes as possible in my dental chair. So this is good for our patients. Is this something new? Is this something that we haven't seen before? Are we revolutionizing implant dentistry? No. This is a technology and a protocol and things that we have been doing for decades. The first study about this one was actually published back in 1989, more or less, about immediate placement and immediate loading. So it's nothing new. And considering that we have what I call conservative clinical or professional environments recommending the treatment as long as you do careful patient selection, and also more prospective clinical environments saying that these are great potential, we should definitely use them. And until now, we've been lucky enough that the patients, at least in Norway, they're not aware that we can mostly do immediate treatments on all cases, basically more or less. And if I can't do it, they'll go to my competitor and do it. And that's why we see immediacy as so important, as also a competition factor amongst clinicians. A little bit about implant history. I mean, it's not that old. So we started back in the 60s with the discovery of the concept. And then back in 1982, we had the most important meeting in modern implantology in Toronto. By the millennium, we could treat all cases, all indications, basically. We didn't reinvent implant dentistry from the millennium and out. We could do everything, but what we're doing is we're in the phase of refining things. We are just improving it a little by little to make it a little more efficient, a little better for the patient, a little bit more predictable, and with less adverse effects. We have two goals. We have a primary goal of implant dentistry. The primary goal of implant dentistry would still be what we call successful treatment outcome, high predictability, good and long-term stability, and low complication rate. The secondary goals are more important because they are patient-oriented. So fewest possible numbers of surgical interventions, low pain and morbidity during healing, short healing periods, and short overall treatment time. Given that, I'll just show you a brief history of implant volume in our clinic, and I'll just take you through the story. This is my 20th year in this business. This is kind of celebrating 20 years of collaboration both with Straumann and other companies. In our clinic, we started doing implants in 1985, and as you reckon, at that time there was only one company available, at least in Norway, until 1999, when Straumann entered the arena in Norway. From 1999 to 2005, Straumann grew in our office because they had the tissue-level implants and the easy prosthetics. People liked it. 2005, Nobel Biocare did something. They came on the market with Nobel Guide technique, which really boosted the use of Nobel Biocare implants in our clinic. And in 2007, they launched the Nobel Active, which was the game changer for Nobel Biocare in our practice. So as you see, from 2007 until 2017, Straumann did little in my practice. But I kept my relationship, and I kept placing Straumann implants in a lower scale than I did before. 2017, Straumann knocks on the door and says, we have something new you might be interested in. And I say, yeah, I like your surface, I like your material, I like you as people, I like the company, but you don't have the implant that I need in my clinical protocols. So they handed me something in then the end of 2017. It was the 26th of November 2017, and we placed the first BLX, and something happened at that time. And from November 2017 until now, it's what I call a love story. And it might seem strange that we are dentists, but we are really detail-oriented, and we love small details, and we fall in love with titanium surfaces and designs, and that's what I did with this. So why did I change then for BLX? What's the reason that I'm on this stage talking about this? Well, to me, I'll go back to Straumann. Straumann has a reputation in the market as the premium brand, and to me it was important to have that reputation when I wanted to start again with something new. What I'd like is a design that gives me predictable primary stability, because I want to solve all cases with one design of an implant. That's my opinion. I'd like to have a material that doesn't break. So I'd like the best material on the market, and that was with Rock Solid. You put an implant in, it gets stable, but that primary stability needs to be replaced with what we call secondary stability. And what we need then is biological foundation for bone growth as fast as possible onto that implant surface. It's easy for me to place an implant, and as experienced surgeons, we will place implants predictably, but we would like to reduce the amount of surgery for patients, because we will win the competition in our market if we are providing more efficient treatment for our patients. So the secondary objectives has been really important for us. The new prosthetic connection, I don't know how many of you are in touch and feel with dentistry, but if you're around here, go and touch it, because the new prosthetic thing is something different. And you, as somebody who's worked with this for years, you'd feel it right away. It's different, and the precision and the feel of it is so good that I hope they change this connection on all their implants. And definitely the other thing is that I started doing Brånemark implants in 1999. The diameter of the Brånemark implants is 375. I still have an old love story for that implant, but I stopped using it as the connection was not proven as good as the connections that we have today. Now I have my diameter implant of 375 back again. So the old love came back. So 375 is definitely a game changer again for Straumann for all indications. this is just x-rays of more or less the 100 first BLX implants that were placed, or 100 first cases at least. And they'll show you that it's a lot of different indications. They're immediate, they're delayed, they're healed sites, immediate loading, immediate installation, delayed loading, everything. And of all these cases, up until now, we've done more than 200 of these implants as one of the participants in this in the world. There's a lot of other clinicians doing the same, but my volume looks like this. So we started out late 2017. We saw that it worked. We saw that the implants were integrated into the patient. We saw there was no adverse effect, good reaction. We increased a little bit. We saw that we could do restorative treatment on these patients. Then Q2 came in 2018. We increased because the confidence grew. As the arena of confidence, it grew. And then we have a summer vacation in Q3 in 2018. As in Norwegian, we get off work. We don't place that much implants. But approaching the end of, again, 2018, the volume increased dramatically because we now saw 1 year follow-up with excellent results. And also we increased the availability of implant diameters and also prosthetic components. And already now in Q1 2019, we grew past whatever happened in Q4 2018. So this is the story of BLX in my practice, in my hands, and with my volume. I'll show and share with you the 10 first cases after 1 year. I don't know how many looks at x-rays every day that I do, but if you look at the bone level after 1 year of the 10 first cases, it shows excellent results. And that is expected, but it's always good to prove it after 1 year, and that's the bony conditions that we would like. Last, before I leave the stage again, I'll just show 2 clinical cases to show you how we work with this. And this picture, this soft tissue picture, would be on my wall in my living room if I was not married to somebody that would show me out. But this is beautiful soft tissue in my opinion. This is how it should look when we have a healed thing around a dental implant. And having these bony conditions on an x-ray after we loaded it, and then having screw-retained crowns as an easy prosthetic solution, this is how I would like it to look every day in my clinic. And again, I'll throw the picture on the wall the day I get back home alone. The last case I want to show you is to show you how do we expand the treatment with BLX compared to the other Straumann implants that we used. Well, if this case was a young girl coming in, needed to restore one of her laterals, we remove the tooth, we do a preparation, we do a technique of a temporary restoration, place an implant, temporary abutments, temporary restoration, and leaves the office with a tooth the same day. And this is delicious dental treatment in a way that they will not move around outside the office without a fixed solution. What do I see as the future of BLX? Well, I see it as it has indications for what I say single, partial, and totally edentulous cases. You could use it for your traditional protocols. You could use it for immediacy. Immediacy is what Straumann has been missing. I haven't had the implant from Straumann to do the immediacy protocols that I'd like to do. So this is a new thing. What are the target group that I would see for Straumann? I'll say it's easily implemented with existing customers, but I think the biggest growth potential and the biggest potential for BLX is people like me using competitive systems. And I also argue that this system is better to start up with than the old systems. So I would use it as a startup system. So what I say is it's an all indication in my opinion, and it's even for all clinicians trained to use it. So by that, I'd like to thank Straumann for inviting me on this stage, and I thank you for your kind attention. And if there's any questions, I'll be up here and after the rest of the speakers are done. So thank you.
Thanks, Eirik.
Very well done.
Excellent. Wow. Thank you, Eirik, for sharing your love story with BLX, and I hope you share our excitement with this new product that we think is not only allowing our customers to treat their patients much better, but for us is also an important economic opportunity. Now, we've talked a lot about the BLX implant as an important element in immediate treatment protocols, but of course, the implant is part of an entire ecosystem of products consisting of preoperative planning, surgical guides, intraoral scanners, CAD-CAM componentry, CAD-CAM abutments and bridges, all of which you will see at the Straumann booth and at our partner booth. So please take the opportunity to visit the exhibition and look at everything that makes up our immediate treatment ecosystem. It's not just the implant. Now we take a step back to the mega topics. I've told you we will cover 3 elements of the mega topics. Immediate treatment protocols. We will now move to the treatment of edentulous patients, because also here we believe we have some exciting news to share with you. You see here the entire treatment spectrum for edentulous patients, starting with removable solutions to different fixed solutions to what we call advanced solutions, among which we count zygomatic implants. Now, each patient is different. Each patient has different expectations. Each patient has a different clinical situation and also different financial resources, which is why not every edentulous patient can be treated in the same way, and we believe we need to offer to our customers a broad spectrum of treatment solutions. Some of these solutions you're already familiar with. You see our Novaloc retentive elements. You see the BLT implant, the novelty BLX, as well as the new SRA abutment design, which you will find at our booth. And I would like to spend a few minutes on highlighting 2 additions to our edentulous treatment spectrum. Let me start with the mini implant. Now, mini implants have been on the market for many, many years. This is not a new type of product, but many of these products suffered from 2 fallbacks. They were prone to breakage because they're very thin, plus the retentive element was wearing out very, very quickly. So thanks to some proprietary technologies, we have been able to overcome these challenges. First, thanks to the rock solid material, we have an implant which is very, very strong, even though the diameter is very, very small. We also have, with what we call the OptiLock connection technology, a very durable surface, a very small connection which allows for low prosthetic solutions, and a connection that is covered with a special coating, ADLC, which is very wear and tear resistant. So here we have a very strong and very durable solution, which is especially suitable for elderly patients with little bone, where we do not want to go through an invasive treatment protocol. Also important in the treatment of edentulous patients is CAD-CAM prosthetics. And you see here exemplary some standard solutions, some more aesthetic solutions, screw retained wrapped around bars, acrylic on the left-hand side, more hybrid type abutments, different materials, including zirconia. So thanks to the Straumann milling services, you can, as a dentist, get all these different prosthetic components sourced from us in highest precision. Again, also depending on the clinical situation and the affordability of the patient. Now, if we move in the treatment spectrum to the far right-hand side, what we call the advanced treatment protocols, we do have an increasing number of patients with very strongly resorbed maxillary situations. And for these, often the last resort is what is called zygoma implants. You see that long implant on the upper right-hand side. Now, Straumann is in the process of developing such a solution, which will be tested in humans in the second half of this year, and which we will then be launching early 2020, so that we can cover the entire treatment spectrum of removable and fixed edentulous treatment options. Let me move to the 3rd mega topic that I would like to highlight today, the topic of aesthetics. You are aware that Straumann, for more than 4 years already, has its pure monotype ceramic implant system on the market. Last year we've launched the pure 2-piece implant system, both of which have a parallel walled soft tissue level design. So what you're known from the soft tissue level titanium design from Straumann. Now, our customers have told us they're also interested in an apically tapered implant design, as well as a bone level design and a solution that is completely made out of ceramic components. So a ceramic implant, ceramic abutment and ceramic screw. And we've decided that for this purpose we partner with the leader in the ceramic market segment, which is Z Systems. We will be distributing the implant that you see on the right hand side under the brand name Straumann Snow. It is different from the design that you know from Straumann. It's a bone level system, it's apically tapered and fully ceramic. As part of this cooperation, we have also invested a minority stake of 34% into the company of Z Systems, and we will be launching this product at the IDS this week here. With that, I hope I've been able to convince you that we have a plethora of very exciting solutions, and I will hand over now to Peter, who will talk about our digital portfolio.
Thank you very much. Being a total solution provider in aesthetic dentistry only works if you have a solid digital foundation. So over the last 5 years, in my capacity of head of business development, I have been very busy filling all these boxes. From treatment planning, data acquisition, over the core business of implantology and orthodontics treatments, all the way to output production when it comes to milling and printing. Explaining all this will take hours. I will focus on 3 things. I will focus today on data acquisition, I will focus on prosthetic output, and I will focus on the incredible opportunity of orthodontics. So, we have been launching the 3rd generation of our intraoral scanner made by Dental Wings, called the Virtual Vivo, here at the IDS. It's full color, it's twice as fast as the last generation, it's twice as precise. It's one of the smallest handpieces in the industry. The tip can be taken off. You can fully autoclave it for over 200 times. There's automatic heating, locking feature, and traceable light so you can see whether you're acquiring data. It's real color. It comes in 2 versions, the card version and newly a pod version with a laptop. So it's this set. And you can upgrade your existing level 2 cards to the new design. Comes with chairside design production, comes with different applications like orthodontics. It also integrates into the Amann-Gebach G-Series mill, giving you a full chairside solution. It integrates with our liner offering of Clear Correct. And obviously with our industry-leading software, Co-Diagnostics for Surgical Planning. Enabling you to do in-practice 3D printing. And it's of course an open system, ecosystem with the corresponding exports. But it doesn't stop there. We're also showcasing a new high production lab scanner called Virtual Harmony, which we will be launching later in the year. We're complementing our portfolio with our partners from 3Shape, with the new 3Shape Move Plus and the 4th generation of the Trios scanner with caries detection and the interproximal caries detection devices. And we are announcing today a new cooperation with a Korean company called Medit, where Medit is endorsing DVOS CAD as their preferred CAD software. And we have signed an agreement with Medit, adding the Medit lab scanners, 300 and 500, under the Straumann brand, fully integrated into CARES as part of our offering in the lab workflow, giving our customers more options in terms of price, performance, and productivity choices. But it's not only the hardware, it's also the software. And we have been working hard on making DVOS, one of the leading prosthetic softwares, even better with our new Easy Mode, enabling less experienced customers to click easily through the software and having, being guided through that thing in an easy way. And we are applying the same technology to our co-diagnostic software, enabling less experienced user to benefit from the amazing power of the industry-leading software. We have also added new manufacturing capability to our network with the full acquisition of Createch, a manufacturer of very high-performing, high-end prosthetic restorations, and also a company offering more than 300 implant connections. And we're adding new capability to our printing arena. So we already launched at last IDS a number of 3D printers. We are now adding additional 3D printers to the portfolio, and we're doing this in what we call the new capsule system. So we are basically offering now a system which you can use in the chairside, in the clinic. We're colloquially saying taking the best out of 3D printing by providing an easel capsule system and a washing and cleaning unit and curing unit next to it, so that you can easily make 3D printed objects inside your clinic. So that has been all our classical product line. But now coming to the new field that we entered with the acquisition of ClearCorrect in 2017, the field of clear aligners. Today, we are launching ClearCorrect in Europe in over 16 countries. We are launching ClearCorrect with a new brand image, a new way of bringing ClearCorrect to the market, and we will bring in ClearCorrect to the rest of the world, starting with Asia and Brazil later in the year. We also announced on Monday, with a big symposium in China, the launch of our SmileTech brand, where we have an exclusive distribution agreement of bringing a clear aligner solution to the Chinese market, as Marco alluded, the second largest aligner market in the world. So ClearCorrect is nothing new. ClearCorrect has been around for a decade. So it's highly automated. It's high-tech. It's a treatment concept in itself. So it has unique features when it comes to the treatment concept. When it comes to the trim line, it's ideally positioned to be a single system for general practitioners. It offers flexible or unlimited offerings when it comes to the way our customers want to purchase it. We offer excellent customer satisfaction and support, and I think we also have good testimonials for our product. So ClearCorrect is a really exciting opportunity that we have, and with the launch that we have in Europe, and later Asia in the year, we are taking ClearCorrect to a global level. Clear, simple, and friendly. But it doesn't stop there. As you heard from Marco, we're adding artificial intelligence under the header of Straumann Virtual Clinic to our portfolio, with the first application range of Dent2Go sourced from our partner Dental Monitoring. And we're offering 4 different applications in the first go. The vital check is a scan that you can do in the clinic, which automatically detects a large variety of potential problems that you have and gives the clinician an instant health check status on your dental situation. We have then a smile simulation application which enables you as a patient immediately to see how you're going to look with braces, how you're going to see with clear aligners, so that you can take an instant decision about your smile design. The third application is the classical monitoring, so that's our answer to acceleration, where the patient can treat himself remotely monitored with a mobile phone, and the clinician then has the optimal moment to see, first of all, is everything going fine, and when is the optimal moment to change the aligner. And the fourth application is basically an abo that you can get as a patient after treatment. So on an ongoing basis, you can scan yourself for relapse, you can scan yourself for white spot deletions, oral health, caries, and also bleaching. So this is the first type of applications that we are launching under the virtual clinic, together with our aligner treatment, supporting our preventive portfolio and improving generally the health. So with that, handing back to Marco.
Thank you, Eric, Peter, and Frank, for your presentations. Here you see where you can find us. Obviously, this is the arena of confidence. So you see here all the innovations related to the Straumann brand. But we also have separate brands for Neodent, separate booths for Neodent, Medentica, Anthogyr, Dental Wings, and also Createch has its own booth. The Dent2Go, the Straumann Virtual Clinic truck, you find outside of this hall. And I really recommend you that you actually stop by and you look at the Straumann Virtual Clinic applications. And we obviously also have part of our products represented at our partner booths around the IDS. It's now time for you to ask questions. So if there are any questions, please don't hesitate and ask them, if there are any. Wait till you have the microphone in front of you.
Thank you very much. I have a question to Eirik, because immediacy in my eyes is still something you need to specify. Are you talking about immediate implantation, or are you talking also about immediate loading? Because according to my old school knowledge, immediacy or immediate loading is still a question of the biology. So how much can you cheat biology now with the BLX? So do you put the implant into restoration immediately, into occlusion, or do you take it still out? So what is still the difference?
First of all, I appreciate the question, because that is the confusion in the community. We all talk about immediacy, and what we see is that at least the least part of immediacy, the thing that I would encourage everybody to do, is being able to at least place an implant in an extraction socket, because it will reduce treatment time. That's kind of one thing. We reduce surgery, we reduce deep treatment. We can't immediately replace all teeth. We can't immediately load all cases. But it seems that we're not cheating biology on it. We're just, because with the new surfaces and the new technology, we know that the secondary stability will increase so much faster than what it did before when we had the smooth surfaces. So you'll have that secondary stability grow so much faster now. And when we splint implants together, we have the stabilization. So in my opinion, the least you should do as a clinician is being able to place an implant in an extraction socket. And we have a rule of thumb in our clinic saying that you should never ever pull a tooth out without at least considering placing an implant in. I don't say that you place implants in all extraction sockets, but consider it before you remove it. Because if we can save the patient for one surgery, that's good. That's immediacy and placement. Loading is a lower volume in percentage of all cases in the world because of one thing, I think, and that's logistics. Because placing that implant takes us about, very limited time, right? Placing a temporary crown or a temporary restoration takes time. So logistics for the patient, and also educational part of the patient. If they have a removable denture, spoon denture, whatever, they know they can't chew on it for that time period because it's going to be loose. If we give them a fixed solution, we need to trust them that, you don't go home and start doing your barbecue stuff on that too, because it's of plastic and everything. So there's patient education, and then there's logistics that will definitely limit the potential of doing it on all patients. But we see, as we grow and educate and make people more aware of it in the clinic, because it's also about this distribution among clinicians. It's not distribution among patients, but clinicians needs to be sure that they can do it. And they need to trust that they have primary stability of the implant. Without primary stability, and you don't have a temporary restoration for the patient, you're out of business. So you need to trust the implant first of all. Thank you, that's a nice question. Thank you.
Oh, does it work?
Another question for you. When you say it's for all indications and all clinicians, and coming back to the immediacy protocols, which require a certain amount of experience, do you still maintain it's for all clinicians?
Excellent. Let me do that one, and you can do a follow-up question. Just keep the microphone, please. Because I say this is an all indication and all clinician implant. Doesn't mean that you can give this implant to a non-experienced dentist and ask them to do immediacy. We should never do that. As we should never place any inexperienced dentist in guided surgery. Because we need to learn them how to do mental guiding and clinically handling of implants before they do guided surgery. They need to do conventional surgery on implants before they do immediate surgery. They need to know how to do delayed loading before they do immediate loading. So we still have to go, we have to go this step-by-step thing. It doesn't revolutionize the clinician, because the biggest potential of error when we treat you as patients is still us as dentists.
Thank you.
So it's excellent. We should never ever, because it's very important to precisely mention that clinicians needs to be trained for immediacy protocols.
Any other questions? Doesn't seem to be the case. So with that, I hand over to Mark to conclude this event.
Well, it just remains for me to thank all our speakers and to thank you for joining us. We'll be back here in the Arena of Confidence at 10:15 tomorrow morning for more interactive sessions, roundtables and presentations. So please join us again if you can. But for now, it's goodbye from us all and have a great day.